The server explained, "You do not have to worry too much, as you'll only staying here for one night before leaving. But I am telling you to be careful, just in case, young master." "Did I scare a little young lady too much?" the server asked. Ian answered cheekily, "Not at all. I'm not scared because father is here. He will protect me. Right, father?" Ian's father nodded in agreement. A hand was seen, grabbing the chair away from the table. It is very lovely to see father-daughter relationship be this sweet. Namgung once sat down next to Ian with his usual, crossed arms posture and ordered, "Bring me a bowl too." "Mr. Wan." Ian greeted happily. Ian's father asked, "You are here?" Namgung Wan replied, he already heard about it all, so there is no need to explain again. It is exactly as the server said. There are over 40 missing children, and countless more if they counted the beggar's children. In the past, Ian's father agonized greatly over this matter. He could not let a single second pass by for her sake, as he did not know just when the elusive all-knowing doctor would leave again. It would have been difficult, given father's disposition to ignore the situation in which innocent children were disappearing. "Yikong, we can't take too long," suggested Namgung Wan. Made up his mind, he asked Ian to go up now. He will send her food up as well. "What? He's kicking me out like this?" "No." She came down to find out how things were proceeding. "Oh well, so? Well, I'm scared to be alone." She fussed, which caused Namgung Wan to spit out his drinks. Namgung Wan asked, "You said you were not scared just a second ago." She denied, "No, I'm scared." "Kid, if you were going to make an excuse, make one that makes sense." Namgung Wan stated as he wiped his mouth. She came up with another excuse. "I wasn't scared since father and Mr. Wan were right next to me, of course." Suddenly, someone called, "Senior Wan." A man carrying a spear on his back came in. Ian recognized him as one of the 10 powerful families, the second son of the Ok family, geniuses famed for music, Ok Jung-hae. Ok Jung-hae explained cheerfully that Senior So Young thought he saw Senior Wan. So, he came to look for Senior Wan in case it was really Senior Wan. Who knew? He met Senior Wan. He greeted Namgung Wan, "Have you been well?" and suddenly jumped in surprised when he noticed Ian's father. "Senior Yikong? You were here as well, Senior. Then who is this adorable young lady?" Gesturing his hand to her. Yikong answered, "She is my daughter." "Duh. Daughter?" Ok Jung-hae couched down and patted her head side to side. She's so small. How cute. How old are you?" Ian's soul was about to fly out of her body due to the motion. "She's 6. "What's 6? How come you're this tiny?" Namgung Wan questioned. "Are you patting her or tormenting her?" Ok Jung-hae snorted, feeling upset. "By the way, Senior, I'm so disappointed in you. Without even telling us anything, to have a daughter this big already. Just when did you get married?" Ian's father's face darkened with glooms, while Namgung Wan felt a torrent headache coming on. Stone-faced Ian thought, one thing is clear for sure. It's a fact that Ok Jung-hae lacks subtleties. Namgung Wan asked him, "Why is he here first?" "Seniors, have you heard of a temple called Sohisa?" "You have not heard of it?" "Then again, it is not a place where Miram nor Ian is at. So, it's a given that you wouldn't have heard of it. I heard about it for the first time recently too, but the missing children at Sohisa are." In other words, thanks to Ian for this lovely summary of what Ok Jung-hae said. The Murian Alliance sent the next generations, which he was one too, on a mission to find the missing children. "You have come alone?" "No. Typically in dispatched missions, for member unit move together. You'll soon be able to see the others too. But Senior Yikong usually moves alone." "Wow," Ian exclaimed. "Her father really is the best." Ok Jung-hae replied, "It was possible because he was that skilled. He's really incredible, right? If I was to talk about the senior's feats, one night won't be enough." Namgung Wan retorted, "What's the point in bringing up the old days? I see you still talk about useless things." "What do you mean useless things?" Then he jumped to another topic. "Have you been to the tavern over there?" "I had lunch over there, but their pork dish was—" Namgung Wan interrupted, "Are you even listening to me?" Without even answering, he jumped to another topic. He told the seniors to wait a moment and flashed off. A moment later, he came back with a strawberry stick. Thankful, they were still selling it. Namgung Wan was so frustrated. He was wondering where Ok Jung-hae ran off to, but it was to buy that. "What do you mean that?" Ok Jung-hae replied unhappily. He brought the strawberry stick to Ian. She thanked him, and he told her to enjoy it. Then he turned to Namgung-won, Senior. Children enjoy these sorts of things. You would regret it if you don't eat these snacks after coming all the way here. I have 6 younger siblings. I know without them saying it. As frustrated as Namgung-won was with Ok Jung-hae, he couldn't refute it. Yin took a bite of the strawberry glazed with sugar and thought, it was so yummy. She asked her father to have a bite too. He took a bit of the strawberry and instantly tasted too much sugars. She asked, is it too sweet for his liking? Her father replied, it's edible. She asked if he would like some more. Watching the father and daughter interaction, both Jung-hae and Namgung-won were dazed momentarily. For Jung-hae, it was his first time seeing that side of Yi-kong. Namgung-won asked Jung-hae, where is his? Pardon? I wasn't able to eat dinner because of you. But none for me? Namgung-won threatened. Oh. Jung-hae told Senior Won, he will be right back with one. And off he went. Both Yin and her father questioned his silliness. Yin asked Namgung-won to have a bite, reaching the strawberry stick up to him. After glancing at it, he finally took a bite. It's sweet, he said. That's what sweet and sour is. She answered cheerfully. Jung-hae was seen running back with a strawberry stick. He beamed happily as he handed the strawberry stick to Namgung-won. Namgung-won told him to eat it, which surprised him. They finally arrived at the place. Jung-hae pointed at the building. It's there, with the light and pine sect's aid. We've solved the matter of room and board. Jung-hae knocked on the door. The moment the door opened, he was already scolded. Senior Ok. Where have you been? He was the light pine sect disciple. Bok-chun. He stopped suddenly when he noticed the people behind. Is the vice clan leader? Asked Senior Ok. Pardon? I can't let them in recklessly though. There are seniors from Miram Alliance. They're here to help. I'll explain the details slowly, so tell the vice clan leader that we'll be waiting in the Azure Hall. Someone pulled Senior Ok's ear and asked loudly, where on earth have you been? Song-yeol and Hai-hyang are looking for you right now. Ik Jung-hae screamed, oh ouch. It hurts. But I told them I was going out. Told what? No one knows where you went. Screamed the other person. After a silent moment, Jung-hae questioned, did I not tell them? Did you? The person continued pulling Jung-hae's ear. He screamed. Why? Wait. Oh ouch. It hurts. Look behind me? He turned to see what's behind and saw the people standing. You're still the same as ever, Tang So-young. He was the head of this dispatch mission of the Miram Alliance. In the hall, Ingzone clan vice leader, Im Jo wook them. To think the high-reputed Grandmaster Baek Ri and Grandmaster Namgung would come here personally, I am deeply grateful. The clan leader is feeling unwell, hence why I'm the one greeting you. I hope you don't mind it. Namgung greeted and hoped the leader makes a full recovery soon. Jo Wook explained that the Ingzone clan are very eager to investigate the missing case, but as the elder is bedridden, they can't act recklessly. They can only thank the 2 grandmasters for coming to aid them. Yi Kong and Wan asked Jo Wook to report how the situation is, which he gladly complied. At first, only 1 or 2 young beggars disappeared. However, it is common for beggars to disappear and appear again, so everyone thought they either died or went to a better place to beg. The people who finally noticed that something was strange started to ask around. And that's when they found out that the young beggars went missing too. It's been a year. If combined with the beggars, the total with the newborn babies, over 50 children have gone missing. Now, houses with children will lock their doors once the sun sets, and they aren't let out at all costs. But even after such strict supervision by the parents, it keeps happening helplessly. The government also told them not to make a fuss about a few children that have gone missing. And that's how they ended up requesting help from the Miram Alliance. Jung-hae entered the room and announced that the rest of the team has arrived. 2 people entered and greeted happily. They are Byok Song-yeol of Mount Hin, Ji, and Ma Hai-hyang of Azure City. Song-yeol announced excitingly, it's a great honor to meet you. Yi Kong introduced Yin, his daughter, to the new faces while Namgung-won thought, it's his first time seeing their faces. Yin greeted hello to the people. Hai-hyang was surprised when she heard daughter, while Song-yeol blushed. Tang So-young explained that it's Song-yeol's first appearance as a disciple of Mount Hong. It is also his first mission. Yi Kong commented, someone will always have their first mission. Song-yeol can just act accordingly to what he learned calmly. Even if something unprecedented happens, he can trust Tang So-young. Jo-wook felt relieved to hear that. He requested for help, but did not think the Murim alliance would be this concerned over this matter. Yin observed her father. She thought, he must be thinking about it hard, whether if he is going to help or not. There has been a misunderstanding. We aren't here because the Murim alliance sent us. We were going to our destination and just happened to pass by. Well, when we met Jung-hae, we asked if he needed any help. With all due respect, seeing how the investigation has been done up until now, it seems like the juniors will do well on their own. Don't you think so? Nam-gung-won asked Yi-kong. Yes, Yi-kong answered. We shall take her leave. My daughter is not in good condition, so we were on our way to treat her. We cannot delay this any longer. So we ask for your understanding. Yin thought, so this is what happens in the end. In the past, father bent his principles for her too. So young Miss Baek-ri is not in good condition. They had no idea at all. Tang So-young commented, We are fine. It is our duty to begin with. We caused a nuisance to you. Jo-wook replied, There is nothing more important to a parent when their child is sick. It's not a matter that both you should trouble yourselves with. It is all right. Yi-kong thanked them for their understanding. But still, could you stay for at least one day and pass on your teaching? Song-yuk pleaded. Since he's the newest, he has a lot to learn. Young-hae asked, What teachings? You are burdening the Sunbae Nims. We should be thankful that they even came here. It's a relief that we're here, right? If not, it'd be obvious that you were forced to come here without much choice. He then laughed heartily and added, Well, you can repay us later. The opportunity for you to erase your debt won't come so easily, Sunbae Nims. Yin's father excused and say they will be leaving then. Just as the two adults stood up, Yin grabbed onto her father's shirt, saying she is fine, so please solve this case. She cannot leave it like this. The lives of the up-and-coming youngsters here will be in danger. This case isn't an ordinary missing case in the first place. This is a murder case by the notorious evil spirits on top of that. Surprised, Nam-gung-won asked, Baek-ri Yin, have you not been listening to what we've been talking about up until now? Ajusi, father, please listen to me just this once. Jung-hae raised his hands and suggested they at least here listen to Yin first. Yin had flashback of the previous life where Jung-hae died in this case. At his memorial service, people can be heard talking about how he left. They all expected highly of him, but he just had to get involved in the case. The remaining 4 members, they all can no longer wield their sword except for Tang So-young. Unfortunately, Nam-gung-won intervened late and was able to save them. They lost the culprit thought. How regrettable, sighed another person. This case is a sub-story incited by the wicked villain, using curing her illness as an excuse. It was no more than a tool to show the ill-fated relationship with the villain, which has been passed on since the generation of the main character's parents. Yin explained, I heard that father has never turned his eyes away from the weak all his life, and I always thought that I wanted to become someone like father. However, if we ignore those who are in difficulties just because my matters are more urgent, then I can no longer say that I want to take after him in the future. In order to sort out the case, Nam-gung-won ended up straying from his party. And even after seeing the name plaque, the physician of all beings rejected her father's request. Already hung up on the guilt of not being able to save them, father fell into agony for not being able to bring Nam-gung-won. And at that time, they ended up losing the trace of the physician of all beings again. It was just one time. And yet, she could always see her father's face full of regret for ignoring the cry of his own heart. Yin thought, finding the physician of all beings is important too, but in this life, she does not want her father to feel regret. Nam-gung-won complained how frustrating. Yi-kong, you should at least say something. She's your daughter, isn't she? I know that I should not act this way for your sake, however, I am happy for you. Yi-kong said full of emotion. Nam-gung-won complained, I cannot look at this anymore. Just don't regret this, you father and daughter pair. And with that, he stormed off. At night, Yin was sleeping. She slowly opens her eyes and wonders why it is so noisy. She got up and walked outside to see what's with all the commotion. Her father was already outside observing the chaos. She stood next to him and asked what's going on. He told her to not mind it and go back to sleep. But she wanted to say something, but she heard two people sobbing about Bukchion's death. They can't believe he's dead. The Grandmaster Namgung and the seniors from Murim Alliance are yet to investigate this, Vice Clean Leader, so please calm down, okay? Bukchion is the most skilled amongst us, thought. Said another person. Are you saying that a disciple of the Ingzone clan died? Not even half a day has passed though. The pace of this case was not this fast in the past. Listening to all these conversations, Yin thought this is strange. What changed from back then? Yin, go back, her father told her gently, while patting her head. Yin figured it must be that father and Namgung decided to stay. That's what changed. Father, where did Namgung Ajusi go? She asked frantically. In the forest, a person was seen dead with his eyes still opened. Tang So-young swept her hand down his face to close his eyes. She saw that he was killed with one strike. The wound is not from a sword, it is not even from a blunt or a sharp weapon. How should she put it? There is also no trace of him unsheathing his sword. So, he died without even knowing he got ambushed. Concludes Song Yul. More like he got killed face on. Suggested Namgung Wan. He thought, the fact that a martial artist died without even unsheathing his sword in a confrontational attack is strange. Who in the world did this? Zhou Imwa cried. Looking around, there are no traces of another person or anything strange. It's just an ordinary forest. Young Hei added. It's just an ordinary forest. She said. Hai Hiang agreed with Young Hei that it's just an ordinary forest. Someone conclude that they may not be able to uncover it because it's nighttime. But for now, it seems that he came here without his colleagues' knowledge, and there seems to be no reason why he had to come here. Namgung Wan analyzed, coming to a forest clearing without his colleagues' knowledge, and dying from a head-on attack without any resistance. This series of events makes it look as if he got murdered by someone he knew. Namgung Wan suddenly remembers something. I think I've seen this wound before. Where have you seen it? I'm sure I've seen a wound that looked like this before. It was definitely. Namgung Wan lunged at Tan So-young from an impending attack and he shouted, Tang So-young, stand back. He pushed Tang So-young back and blocked the attack. He unsheathed his sword. Vice Clan Leader, shouted Zheng He. Vice Clan Leader and Namgung Wan struck a few blows and separated. Namgung Wan retreated to where Tang So-young was and spat out a mouthful of blood. So-young asked Vice Clan Leader, what the hell is he doing? Zheng He stated that he cannot use his internal arts. Hai Hiang agreed that she cannot use it either. So-young felt flustered and asked if Namgung Wan is the same too? Namgung Wan answered, it's arts dispersing poison. When did he? Asked So-young. Ha 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 ha, the Vice Clan Leader laughed. Didn't each of you drink a glass of water on the way? You nasty bastard. Scolded So-young. Humph. I don't want to hear that from a Tang family bastard who uses poison. Replied the Vice Clan Leader. Vice Clan Leader got in stance. So does Song Yul. He looked nervous as he got ready for the next attack. Vice Clan Leader glanced at him as it seems he's the weakest link. Vice Clan Leader swung an attack at Song Yul. Though he blocked with his sword, he still got injured and flew backward. Tang So-young threw her kunai knives at the clan leader where he can only evade, but only backward, putting a distance between him and Song Yul. Vice Clan Leader thought, this is why he should handle the Tang wench first. He did not even use poison on her because he was worried that she would have noticed. Hai Hiang and Zheng He lunged at the Vice Clan Leader with their weapons hoping to land an attack on him. But he only smirked, how weak they are. He sent an energy blow at them, sending them flying off. Zheng He and Hai Hiang fell on the ground and the impact made them spat out blood. Angered, So-young hurled her knives at Vice Clan Leader. He evaded all of them with ease, startling So-young. The internal force from the Vice Clan Leader caused the ground to sunken below his feet. With full force, he sprung towards So-young and Namgung Wan, excited that it's all over now. Tang So-young looked so flustered. How was she going to stop the attack? Suddenly, a white light flashed before her. straight towards the vice clan leader. Kong asked what's the situation. Namgung-won replied, it's the chi dispersing poison. All of them, except Tang So-young, have been afflicted. Flustered, Vice Clan leader asked just how Kong was able to be here. Kong answered, that's what I wanted to ask. I remember that I cut your face in half that time. It seems the heavens is not on my side, seeing how you've survived like this. Surprised, Namgung-won yelled, the thousand ghost face. I thought I'd seen that somewhere before. The thousand ghost face laughed, ki, while putting his palm on his face and torn off the face mask. It's great that you're able to recognize me, Baekri Kong. The thousand ghost face, a decade ago, an infamous demonic master who kidnapped countless children in the Guizhou province region. He, who went in and out of the dense forest that he had made his home, was notorious for killing or seriously maiming all those who came to subjugate him with his never-before-seen rare items and strong martial arts. And, in the midst of all this helplessness, there was a hero that appeared like a nova. Baekri Kong. A decade ago, during an encounter with the mere 20 years old Baekri Kong, the infamous master sustained a fatal injury and fled from the scene. He was able to live, despite such a grave injury? Asked Zheng He while being helped to stand up by Hai Hiang. So-young, Kong called, can you detoxify the poison in Wan? She answered, it's possible. However, the process of neutralizing the poison requires a chi breathing regulation. Then, you'll have to deal with the thousand ghost face alone. Kong replied that she does not have to worry about him. So-young explained, it depends on the severity of the addiction state, but it won't exceed a single meal. On the side note, one meal is about 30 minutes. Kong told So-young to focus on detoxifying Wan. Thousand Ghost Face smirked, pointing his finger at Kong. Huh, you're facing me right now. But you're going to do some chi breath regulation? Hai Hiang and Zheng He stood on each side, guarding So-young and Namgung-won. Thousand Ghost Face screamed, I see you all are brimming with confidence. He flew toward Kong, attacking the first strike. Kong moved his sword, gentle like wind, leaving multiple afterimage and blocked the attack, causing Zheng He to be surprised. He cannot believe Senior Kong completely fended off that attack. Moreover, he noticed that in the midst of all of that, Senior is steadily guiding the thousand ghost face in a different direction. Frustrated, as the flat land is too much for him, the thousand ghost face have no choice but to retreat towards the heavily wooded area. He can only lure Kong to where he has the advantage. Kong chased after the thousand ghost face. Once the tension calmed down, Zheng He spat more blood and asked where is Song Yul. Worried, Hai Hiang does not know. He disappeared at some point. She is sure he will bring support. She noticed that everyone's internal injuries are far worse than she had thought. She prayed to herself, please, someone come, anyone. In the woods, Kong walked while remained vigilant. There was no sign of him, he thought. The thousand ghost face was hiding at the treetop, looking down at Kong, waiting for the opportunity to attack. When he noticed the chance, he jumped down to attack Kong, but Kong blocked the attack. The thousand ghost face moved fast that he seemed to be disappearing. That reminds me, Beek Song-yeol, I heard something interesting form that dunce of the South Mount Han. That your daughter is sick because she is an imbecile, am I right? Yi Kong sliced the tree in half, but the thousand ghost face was not there. The thousand ghost face continued. A crippled, from a martial arts family who has a shattered dantian. Ha 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 ha. There must be quite a few people who hold a lot of resentment towards you for your actions while pretending to be noble. I cannot believe she's a cripple who cannot even practice martial arts. Ha 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 ha. Aren't you curious? Bekri Yi Kong? Just how many more days can your daughter survive in Gango? Finally, the chance came. Thousand Ghost Face was able to break the flow of Yi Kong's sword's energy by taunting him. The golden opportunity. He rushed forward and landed a blow straight across Yi Kong's neck. Just as he thought, he sliced Yi Kong's neck as it seemed like Yi Kong fell backward. With Yi Kong's agility, he sprung straight up while touching his neck. Damn it, if only it was deeper. I could have killed him at that moment, complained the Thousand Ghost Face. He sensed an energy from behind and dodged the sword attack from Nam Gung-wan. Being team-tagged attacked by Yi Kong and Nam Gung-wan, the Thousand Ghost Face has no choice but to flee. It is still tough to handle two of them at once. Nam Gung-wan asked if Yi Kong is alright. Yi Kong told him to chase after the Thousand Ghost Face. Regrettably, the Thousand Ghost Face have to fall back for now, but it seems that Yi Kong had foreknowledge of something that prompted his swift arrival to this place. Zheng He exclaimed. He sensed good energy and held Yin up like a rag doll, beaming with joy. It's coming from little Yin. I'm sure of it. Calm down, Senior Zheng He, told off by Hai Hiang. Yin thought, you reap what you sow. All she did was for her father and Mr. want to stay a bit longer. But it was her who realized that Mr. Wan's party was in danger. And she ended up using that one hidden trump card that every child has for such situation. Zheng He replied, even if I think about it again, it's miraculous to learn about our situation through a dream and bring doctors and others to help us. He patted Yin's head and said, if it weren't for Yin, he could have died helplessly. Yin thought, that's right. She was so desperate that she lied on the floor and pretended that she had a nightmare. She complained to her father, if you don't go see Mr. Wan, I'm going to keep crying. Yin blushed, covered her face in embarrassment. Even thinking about it made her feel ashamed. But thanks to that, the group was able to survive. Tang So-young asked, what do you think happened to Song-yeol? Hai Hiang replied, it'd be good if he doesn't encounter the Thousand Ghost Face. Nervous, Yin thought, I cannot bring myself to reveal his whereabouts. Even in the novel, he just played the role of uselessly running away. The door was pushed open, and a staff came in to announce that Master Bekri has returned. Yin beamed with joy. Father is back? Entered was her father and Nam Gung-wan's aide, Shim. Yin welcomed her father back with joy expressed on her face. She rushed towards him, but he stopped her by holding her forehead to stop her in place. You're covered in dust, said her father. Unhappy, she complained. She felt okay, though. Tang So-young welcomed the Sunbi Nims back and asked about Wan Sunbei. Was there any problem? Aide Shim replied, Master Namgung is relentlessly pursuing the traces of the Thousand Ghost Face, and as a result, we were able to locate his base. The answer shocked Tang So-young. Finally, the base. Then the missing children. Yin felt saddened by this news, thinking, unfortunately, they're probably all dead. Suddenly, Aide Shim said there is a survivor. What? A survivor? The survivor came from behind Aide Shim and showed himself, a little boy with dark black hair. Yin thought, there were no survivors in her past life, though. Why is my heart racing? Yi Kong suddenly asked, Yin, what are you holding in your hands? This distracted Yin. Oh, these are the snacks that Jung Hae brother brought me. I heard you were back, so I was thinking we could eat it together. Would you? She held out the snack box to her father. He replied, he's all right without it. Hi, do you also want to eat it? Ian asked the survivor boy. It's a good thing that there is a survivor. I heard it's from a famous place. You should try one too. Ian handed a snack to his hand. She thought to herself, he must be traumatized. I should give him good things to eat and treat him well. I'm Bekri Ian. She introduced herself. What's your names? She asked. But why does she felt so disarrayed? Ian moved her eyes up to see her father and noticed the bandage around his neck. It was the first time she saw her father's injury. Then she thought of her neck and looked back at the survivor boy. He replied slowly, Yayul. She suddenly felt an itching sensation on her neck. In the novel, the imminent Scryce did not reveal himself until much later in the plot. The place where he should be right now is the House of the Wicked. It's like a prison in the Murim Alliance where criminals whose crimes were serious in nature are imprisoned. So why is he, a child who should be there, is here? Ian was hiding behind the door, eavesdropping in the adult conversation. How is he doing? Tang So-young asked. The staff replied, he was quiet during the bath. Even when I asked him where his home was, he did not respond or ask any questions. Is that so? What should we do? Tang So-young asked Ade Shim. The staff continued, but there were quite a few wounds on his body. If we add the recent wounds to the old ones, there are quite. Ade Shim shouted, who is there? Dread. Ian complained, martial artists are really. It's so hard to eavesdrop. It cannot be helped. Ian stepped out from the side and laughed. He. It's me. I need to act harmless and innocent. Tang So-young thought. How cute. And asked what brings her there? Acting all cute and innocent, like a child who does not know anything at all, she said. I came because I wanted to see the child father brought, but it seems like you were in the middle of a serious conversation. Ade Shim thought. Ian came to play with someone her age. Ian showed a box to the adults and said, earlier, it seemed like he was hurt. So I bought some ointment too. The adult beamed at her cuteness. Ian asked if she can personally deliver the ointment to him. The adult went to discuss. Tang So-young said, since they are around the same age, maybe the boy will open up more easily with Ian. From what was said earlier, he was well behaved. And Ian seemed a bit lonely because she was by herself too. Ade Shim said, they can just stay in the front of the door to keep watch. Maybe it will be okay. Tang So-young went back to Ian and told her, if you don't like that child, then you don't have to force yourself to talk to him and come out. All right? Yes, she complied. Phew. She succeeded in going in, but her heart is still pounding. Ian patted her chest and touched her neck. She encouraged herself. It's okay. You can do this. It hasn't happened yet. She has to find out the reason if she does not want history to repeat itself. The reason why Yayul is here. Looking at his side view, she was shocked. Why couldn't she recognize him immediately when he looked so similar? Made up her mind, she has to say something. Anything. The boy glanced at her, touched the flower, and it wilted instantly, turning lifeless. Forbidden demonic breath techniques? It's a martial arts technique that forcibly extracts the true chi of others' vitality and converts it into one's own internal chi. Its very name instills fear in those who are orthodox. You. He called slowly. Ian stepped forward and yelled, stop it, that technique. Does father know that you can perform this technique? It was because of that technique. That's why Yayul, the sole survivor of the Thousand Ghost Face, couldn't be protected and was imprisoned in the House of the Wicked. He knows? Then what about the others? Asked Ian. The others don't know, the boy replied. Ian guessed. It's probably true. If the others knew, there was no way she would be allowed in the same room with him. Forget about protection, he would have been sent straight to the Murim Alliance. He asked, you aren't here to kill me? Shocked, she asked why would she kill him? He answered, that's what the Thousand Ghost Face said. In her past life, Yayul had an abnormal obsession with her. To be precise, she, the daughter of Bekri Kong. What if it was the Thousand Ghost Face who taught Yayul the forbidden demonic breath technique? If that is the case, why did he teach Yayul this technique? Ian, why are you causing trouble here instead of just waiting? I told Shim to not let anyone in. How did you get? Before he completed his sentence, he noticed the wilted flowers in the vase. He frowned, unhappily. If it was anyone else except my daughter who had seen you do that, you would have been apprehended immediately. It cannot be helped if you don't believe my words. I won't stop you if you choose to pay for your sins. That may not be a bad idea. Afterward, Yian's father held her in his arms and took her back to her room. He sat her down and said he was considering taking the child. If Yael wanted to live without resorting to demonic techniques, he wanted to give Yael that chance. Yian had a lot to say, such as the risk of hiding Yael. But her father told her, it's all my fault for not properly killing the 1,000 ghost face in the past. Therefore, it's only right that I take responsibility. I don't want to be a disgrace to you. With those sincere thoughts, how could she deny him? The road leading to the all-knowing doctor was rough. The heavy rain kept falling and stopping repeatedly, and the dirt road became so muddy that the carriage wheels got stuck multiple times and eventually fell off. At their destination, another incident was waiting for them. Did you find them all? Asked Namgungwan. Yes, I have found all of them in the vicinity for now. 13 corpses in total, all of which had stab wounds, replied Shim. The area around the Bagua village is safe. Should we expand our search area a bit? Asked Shim. Namgungwan replied, yes, let's broaden it a little more. Their primary goal is to find out whether the all-knowing doctor is alive. The secondary goal is Yian, counting her finger and doing the math. There are 5 children in Bagua village. 1 corpse of an adult and 1 of a child is missing. Although she did not see all the faces of the corpses, the circumstances suggest that there is a high possibility that the all-knowing doctor and the errant child are alive. Yian patted her head. At least, that is what she hoped for. Yian? Her father called. Are you all right? Father? I'm fine. I don't know if it's because of the location, but may I take a short walk? Yian have to confirm it. The house where the all-knowing doctor lived in the past. Her father couched down to her height and answered, sure. But you must not go too far. Yes, she replied cheerfully. Walking around the vicinity, she saw broken houses, collapsed building, but noticed that Yael is following her every step of the way. It seemed like he won't stop following her. Yian thought it's like mother duck and newly hatched baby duck. There was a little child that the all-knowing doctor kept as a servant. He was a child with aphasia who had lost all his relatives in a landslide. And perhaps, because he was saved by the doctor, the child's emotion was especially unusual. Looking around, Yian heard that he hid around here during the landslide. She should have paid more attention to the details of what happened then. Suddenly, Yael called out to her, are you looking for this thing here? He was over by a large tree. She walked over and asked what he meant by here. Yael answered, the gap's in the roots here. It's a really small hole though, Yian stated as they peeked through the gap. Laying in the roots gap is a little boy. Father, Yian called out. Yi Kong checked the child's forehead for signs of illness. Yian asked her father how is the child. He replied, the child has a high fever. He showed signs of dehydration. It seemed like he has been left unattended for more than a day, but at this rate. He suggested they have to go back to the village quick. No, that would be futile. There are no doctors in the nearby village. She reminded. Oh, that's right. Yi Kong just remembered. Then they will have to ask the child about the all-knowing doctor and the people who attacked this village. Yian suggested, earlier, she noticed there were some herbs left in the remains of the burnt house. She will go see if there are any medicinal herbs that can be of use. Her father asked if she can pick out the medicinal herbs. Yian turned to her father and laughed, of course. If we had the sheer amount of medicine you've fed me thus far, I could possibly set up on own clinic, could I not? He could only look at her, mesmerized by how bright she has become. Yian returned with the medicine to see Yael tending to the sick child. Yael seemed like he was used to nursing injuries. She asked where her father is. Yael said he had some stuff to bring. Really? She clarified as she sat on the edge of the porch. She touched her neck and still have not figured out how to face Yael. It's something that hasn't happened yet. Even though she tries to forget the past and adopt the mindset that she should treat him well, But whenever she saw his face, she is being reminded of what happened back then. She asked him. It seemed like he is used to nursing. He replied, his mother was sick quite often. Surprised, she asked, you have a mother? She suddenly realized that was a ridiculously stupid question. Even the antagonist who is as significant as the protagonist would have a mother. She stated, embarrassingly, I don't have one. So? He asked, you don't have a mother? Yeah. My mom wasn't around even before I could remember anything. He said, you still have a father. Yian beamed, that's right. Perhaps, Yael might be a better child than she had thought. She asked him, where is your mother now? He stated, she has passed. At that moment, she may have been a bit too complacent about fate. Please leave a comment of 3 words or more for the next part. Like, share, and subscribe to help support this channel for more contents and faster release.